What's up, everybody? Back, brand new video, trying a little something different. Actually going to show my face on some of these videos, but back with another performance review, and today's video is the LeBron Soldier 10. I don't know why I said LeBron Soldier 10, but whatever. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, the first thing that you will notice is that the shoe is completely laceless. All right. Now, I said straps on this particular shoe is nothing new. Every shoe in the series has straps, but it being laceless is a first. So I was kind of wondering, like, now how is this gonna work, not having laces? But surprisingly, when you put the shoe on, actually the first thing you'll notice is how well the shoe fits. Now, and I kind of have to delve into the inner, but what you've got is it's got a as they term, a compression inner. But the net effect is once you and what I'm saying is before you even actually strap the shoe up. This is just putting your foot inside the shoe. Just it fits really good. Now, let me come back to something real quick. Now, this is not necessarily the easiest shoe to get on, so you're going to have to these pull tabs here on the tongue and on the back. You're gonna have to use them to get them on. It's not necessarily the easiest shoe here, so just be mindful of that. It's not really a performance-related thing, but just something to be aware of. But anyway, once you put your foot inside the shoe, like I said, you notice immediately, like, wow, this shoe may fit fairly well. And then once you actually engage the straps, your foot is totally locked down in place. No matter what type of movements that you're making on the basketball court, the Soldier 10 holds your foot in place. And I was actually very impressed because it does it, like I said, without being restrictive or being too tight or anything like that. The inner is just wonderfully made, and it just holds your foot in place in all directions. Now, I'll say about this, you do have some padding here. I call it intelligently plush around the malleoli on both sides there, which are your ankle bones, to help hold your heel in place. Heel slip or anything is not an issue in this shoe, nor is heel fit or foot movement in any direction. Just kind of, I keep hammering that point home because it's true. Foot doesn't move. Also, in getting into the playability right out of the box in terms of flexibility, the shoe is actually very flexible right out of the box. So these will be ready to go fresh out of the box. You don't have to wait on anything. They're just ready to go. The shoe flexes very well. You know, the flexion points are not in a place where the straps would get in the way, or the straps don't get in the way of the shoe flexing, which is a good thing. Excuse me. One other thing I did want to touch on in terms of the straps before moving on, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say it. Now, as you can see, the Velcro does run all the way down nearly, well, to the outsole. Now, particularly in these two, you'll notice here with these two straps, these, particularly this one, these are a little more have more elasticity, excuse me, than the 4-foot strap here. And I think that one, of course, to accommodate different security points of where you want to strap the shoe. But also, what I did notice is that this particular Velcro, you don't have any issues with it wanting to come undone while you're playing, which for this shoe, without having laces, is critical that this stays in place. That was a concern initially in my looking at the shoe, but in my time, the Velcro stayed right where it needed to be, and it didn't move. So if that was an area that you were worried about, let me assuage those concerns. You don't have to worry about that, and I didn't experience that. Now, if we get down to the midsole here, and I'm going to turn it up so you can kind of see it course, you've got zoom backs here and here in the heel and the forefoot. Phylon midsole. Again, I'm gonna come back to it right out of the box. The shoe felt very good. There's a lot of step-in comfort here, both in terms of the cushioning, in terms of the midsole, and I'm gonna take this out so you can see it. You've got also some additional cush with this ortholite sock liner here to help the cushioning out even more so. Now, just aside from walking around comfort, which you know you want, on court is very good as well, because the midsole and the Zoom Air does a great job of dealing with those, of course, those impact protection or impact forces that you're going to incur, but also the Zoom Air feels really good. It's very responsive, which was again a surprise for me as well, and it held up just very well throughout my playing of this shoe. And one area that's kind of surprised me was actually the level of court feel. Actually, court feel in these was pretty good, considering particularly even the Soldier 9 and some of the other ones that the midsole height was kind of high. This was actually pretty good. Have I been in better? Yes, but overall it was much better than what I expected, and that kind of breeds to the stability of the shoe, not only because of coming back to the fit at the heel here, and I don't know if you can see it, you may not be able to. There is some, maybe if I zoom in there, you can see it right there. There is some degree of compression in the midsole, which means your foot's sinking down when you're playing, which means you're close to the court, and then that kind of makes the shoe not want to tip over, which was not an issue, not only because just the stability and the fit, you've also got an outrigger here to help with that area as well. So the cushioning, I again, was actually very good. I said it was much more responsive than I would have thought it was, but nonetheless, it was still very, very good. Now, if we can get to, we're gonna talk about the outsole here. You can see you've got a series of squares here, rhombuses, if you will. Now this was the one area. Okay, now starting off, here's the first thing. Let me back up. If you wear this shoe, I would recommend you maybe wearing them a day or two prior to actually playing to these on the court. I didn't do that, and here's what happened. When I took them out on the court, that initial top layer of rubber is not very sticky at all. It's almost like the best way to describe it is kind of walking around in grippy house shoes or something. It just doesn't grab the court as well as you would like it to. Now, once the rubber wears down, and it will, the traction definitely improves, but it's not to the point where it was grabbing the floor as much as I would have liked, and it did cause, let me back up, because an issue on the fit. Because of that, I think my foot kind of slipping around because it was the traction wasn't there. I had one instance of a severe, and I'm saying severe not because it an injury or anything, just because it was kind of jarring, of my foot kind of sliding to the outer rim of the footbed, because my shoes actually, I was slipping, it couldn't stop, and it just couldn't keep up with my movement in that instant. That was the only time that happened, but the traction just was okay. It got to a point of just being okay, and it didn't get any better. So if you like crazy glue, like sticky traction, this is you may want to think about that before you pick these up. Like I said, it wasn't ever bad. It just wasn't great, and that was really one of the major downsides of the shoe. Said that. Other than that, the shoe is very, very stable. Now, I do need to touch on one thing before we close in terms of the outsole here. Now, said the traction wasn't outstanding if you play on a dusty floor, because dust will adhere to this outsole. Okay, be very mindful of that, and if that happens, it'll be a severe degradation in an already, I feel like, scientific word, retarded efforts of the shoe to grip the floor. So if it's dusty, you may want to be mindful of that and pick up maybe a traction mat or something else, or have a wet towel, or know that you'll be doing this a whole lot. But kind of moving to the close. This shoe performed better than what I expected. Definitely better than what I expected. It was good fit, good cushioning, good stability and support. Traction is not. The traction doesn't perform as well as in its area as well as the other aspects of the shoe do in their respective areas. That's definitely the one area where it's kind of falling behind. But other than that, the shoe is well built. As you can see, just how well it's held up in my several weeks of testing these guys out. So it can definitely get you through an extended portion of a season and likely a whole season with no issues at all. Could you take these outdoors? The outsole? Yeah, you probably could. Particularly, the rubber is somewhat stiff, but since the indoor traction I feel is somewhat compromised, it wouldn't hurt you to take these outdoors, and I feel that they're constructed well enough for you to do so. So, in conclusion, let's say the LeBron Soldier 10 is a very good shoe. Offers a lot of good positives. Definitely be mindful of that traction situation. So if you get these, you're gonna want to address it with some of the other traction assisting products out there. But other than that, it's a great shoe. Other than that area, and I would put it on my try before you buy list, or on the caution list maybe, just for the traction issue alone. But other than that, I think the LeBron 10 was a fairly solid shoe. I do. Now, I want to thank everybody for watching this video. I will be back with more videos real soon. Now, make sure you definitely head over to Sneakershoptalk.com for, of course, sneaker news. We do sports as well, and we'll have a more detailed write-up of this shoe as well. So I do want to thank everybody who's been watching the videos. I'll be back with more real soon.